Dragon Ball is all about getting stronger and being the best and fighting and winning fights. Like, I kind of would want to see what happened if they mashed up with like the Animal Crossing world or Stardew Valley, like something that's like
that poor island
building.
Someone's gonna blow up that poor island.
Welcome, friends and fans, to another episode of GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. And today we are indeed going back to Universe 7 with 6 incredibly talented guests from Dragon Ball Super. So without further ado, let's bring him out. Our first guest is an actor whose body of work includes Borderlands series, One Piece, and Space Battleship Yamato. Today he joins us as the voices of King Yama and, of course, Mr. Satan. Please welcome back our friend Chris Rager.
Hello, welcome, or thank you for having me.
Always.
Welcome to me, I guess, right?
Yes, indeed. You know what? And of course, you know my friend, where my heart belongs in your portfolio. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh my God, dude, I want that so bad.
You and everybody else. This is like the fancy light up one and everything else with a remote control, and yeah, it's a beaut. So speaking of beauts, how have you been, my friend?
I've been very well. Thank you very much. You know, we of course, there's the pandemic, which, you know, hopefully is getting better. But, you know, we had a little bit of a snowpocalypse down here in Texas. I live in the Dallas area, but so we all narrowly survived that. And things are much better. It's like, you know, 60 degrees outside. And
yeah. Well, again, it was an interesting year, and it's still an interesting year. And but everybody says the world will reboot next month. So let's keep the fingers crossed on that.
Just a reboot? Is there a restart button?
Because I guess that's when the troubles all began last year. So people are saying it's a great day in March where it all started, and hopefully it'll all end.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Let's take it for that. Why not? Always a pleasure to have you back, boss.
Thank you, sir.
Speaking of pleasures, our next guest is an actor whose roles include Full Metal Alchemist, One Piece, and Fruits Basket. Today he joins us as the voice of Majin Buu. Please welcome back Josh Martin.
What's up?
Hey!
How y'all are?
Oh, thank you for taking a break from your busy DJing schedule. I know that audience there has got to be rocking.
Well, you know, they'll take a second. They'll manage.
Oh, okay, Josh, how have you been?
Man, I'm great, thanks.
Cool, glad to hear you.
Been chilling, taking care of family. You know. Got a little lag there. Sorry. Go on.
No worries, boss. If it gets too much, you can always just cut back out. If you jump back in again, sometimes that resets. So if you want to do that now, we'll do that as I bring in our next guest, because she is an actress whose credits include Freedom Planet, Ruby, and Fairy Tale. Today, she joins us as the voice of a legendary Saiyan of Universe 6, Kale. Please welcome Dawn Bennett.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Oh, I am well in my corner of the world. I hope everything is well in yours as well.
Yeah, I actually moved from Dallas to LA, so I got to skip the snowpocalypse. But yeah, so same thing as everyone, just chilling during quarantine.
Indeed. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Absolute pleasure. Glad to see you in good health and in good spirit.
Thank you. You too.
Oh, thank you. And our next guest, she is an actress and award-winning voiceover artist whose body of work includes Attack on Titan, Ruby, and The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Today, she joins us as the voice of Kale's fierce best friend, Caulifla, and also, she is Elizabeth Maxwell, but we're also bringing in the beast to her beauty. He is an actress whose credits include David Byrne's cult film, True Stories, Ruby, and My Hero Academia. Today, he joins us as the voice of the God of Destruction of Universe 6, Champa. Please welcome back Ernesto Jason Liebrecht.
Yeah, and Elizabeth Maxwell.
Yeah. Elizabeth Maxwell. I said that too.
I know. I heard you. You did great.
Patty,
thank you. Hey,
totally stealing that line.
Well, I'm glad it was well received. It's one of those. I think we're cool enough. I could throw that way. So, but my dear friends, how have you been?
We've been well, man. We've been okay. We did get frozen in a little bit, but we're on the same part of the grid as the wastewater treatment plant. So we survived a little bit easier than some. It got cold, and oddly Vermont-like, but we're still here. So
all right.
Lucky.
Let's hear it for civil planning.
Yeah. More of that in the future.
We'll take it on that. And finally, she's an actress, director, and scriptwriter whose body of work includes My Hero Academia, Full Metal Alchemist, and Street Fighter. Cat and Spike. Today, she joins us as the voice of the elegant Vados. Please welcome back Caitlin Glass.
Hi, everybody.
And Bonnie.
And Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Oh. Hi.
How did you choose? Did they draw straws?
She was misbehaving, so she gets to sit in my lap.
I'll remember that in the future.
Yeah.
We're only 5 minutes in. I love it.
I miss you guys so much.
I think we all do. And on behalf of us here at GalaxyCon, yes, we absolutely miss all of you. We miss hosting you on our physical stages, and we miss being able to get you guys on our stages and you in front of your fans. But in the meantime, we always have and will continue to have the GalaxyCon virtual stage. And once again, it's a pleasure to have you all. Indeed. And again, on behalf, from all of us to all of you that are in Texas and your friends in Texas and everything else, we are glad that everyone emerged that situation, and we're glad to see have you all here in good spirit and good health, and so now, and we're here to talk about Dragon Ball. Our team's going through the chat room right now. Pull out the questions. In the meantime, just hands down, what's been the best part about being involved in this? Because Dragon Ball is what I consider it one of the pivotal animes. Oh, he'll be back. I consider it one of the pivotal animes in what I call the third generation of American anime fandom. It's like it came on in the late 90s, and people are going to get into it. And it's multi-generational. There are guys my age who got into it in the college years, and it's just continuing, and new fans coming onto it every day. And short version of the story, at one of our shows, and most of you were there, there was another actor and who was like, "Who are those guys? They had a line all day and it didn't stop." There was a cartoon called Dragon Ball, and if you got about a half hour, I'll explain it to you. But it's like, no. The point of the matter is that Dragon Ball fans are some of the fiercest. They're some of the most fun, and they're just some of the best fans in anime. And without them, none of us would be here. And to all of you in our audience, thank you for supporting this amazing show, and thank you guys for providing the voices for all these kick-ass characters. And we can say kick-ass because that's what this cartoon is about.
That's right. That's right.
So, from your perspective, what's been the best thing about being a part of the Dragon Ball universe?
Whoa, the best thing.
I mean, for me personally, with Dawn and I getting to come in as kind of historical characters in terms of being the first female Saiyans, that was pretty cool, because I love me some girl power. So it was, that was cool to feel like it was kind of part of a historical moment for a historical franchise, and just seeing the fan reception and how stoked and welcoming the fan base was pretty cool. That and the night where we all got to fight each other, that was one of my favorite Dragon Ball experiences.
Still need a rematch too.
Yeah, no, I know it was an anniversary event. What was the anniversary, you guys? Do you remember, Dawn? Well, whatever. Yeah, when we all got to play each other on the video game.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I remember that night. Yeah, that was awesome.
Nice.
Because you lost.
I did lose. I got my ass kicked.
So
It's okay.
I won my round.
You got it differently than me. You did win. You did win. Josh, did you win? You were there?
I beat Josh.
Oh, you beat Josh. Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that.
But enough about your personal life. We're going to talk about your professional life.
Right. I don't know. The best thing about being in Dragon Ball is really the fans, and the fact that we get to meet these people who who love and adore this show, and to have that expression back and forth, that give and take. I mean, I remember, when I first booked a part, I was very grateful to have a part in a cartoon of all things. I mean, voicing a cartoon character was always, something cool in the back of my mind that I didn't know if I would ever do. And so the fact that I was doing it was great. And, I remember I got a call from like Sabbath, and I was going down to Funimation for this thing. They didn't really tell me what it was. When I got there, Score Entertainment at the time, this was years ago. I mean, I think, Don was, probably his middle school, and, anyway.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
My point is, we went in there and they had these things. They're like, we want you to sign these and we're going to give you a check. Right. And I was like, you just want me to sign my name and you're going to give me money? And so that sort of moment, realizing like, oh, this is something. There's something going on here that people really like about this show. Because otherwise, I mean, I've never signed my name for money, so that was sort of like a moment where I was like, oh, wow, cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
I get paid after I do the funny voices?
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, I think like for me, going off that, being a kid and watching Dragon Ball, like I used to watch Dragon Ball with my friends, and I tried playing the games. I couldn't aim, though. I was not very good at them. But going from that as a kid to like now getting to voice, and it's a really weird, surreal experience. Life is weird. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes in a good way.
Yeah. Similarly, I don't want to say I grew up watching Dragon Ball. I did grow up watching anime, but I wasn't really into Dragon Ball when I was younger and when I was in like high school discovering anime. But in college, that was just a part of what I did. I went to school and then went over to whoever's place was closest to us. Anthony Bowling, who's another voice actor. I went to college with him. Sean Gann, another voice actor and director. We all went to college together. So it was like, okay, go over to Sean or Anthony's. We'd scarf down some food, watch Dragon Ball, and then go back because we had rehearsal that night. So that was just like a part of our lives. And then my senior year of college is when I started working at Funimation. But like Dragon Ball was still ongoing, but it traditionally does not have a lot of females in it. So then the ones that it did have, they're already cast, they're already set, they're in it. So I wasn't really in Dragon Ball at all, Dragon Ball Z at least. And over the years, Chris Sabat was always trying to get me in there, but he's like, I don't want to waste you on any, a little part. So when Vados finally came along, he's like, Caitlin, I found it. I have it. We've got the girl. I'm like, okay, great. Yay. And the first stuff I recorded as Vados was the video game. What was the Xenoverse? I think Xenoverse 2 is when she showed up. So that was pretty special. But then I had to keep it under wraps for quite a while. It was awesome when we finally got to share with everybody. And it's been a blast to finally join the fandom. I love the dynamic of Universe 6. It's great working with Jason and playing off of him, even if he hasn't recorded yet, because I've known him for like, gosh, as long as I've been a voice actor. Jason has been one too at Funimation. So like we know each other pretty well. I'm like, I know exactly how he's going to deliver this. It's so fun. And then also having Ian Sinclair as my counterpart, as my brother, is really fun too. So yeah, I hope that something happens and I get to record some more Vados, because she was a joy and I would love to keep playing her.
It's back. It's back. Right?
It is?
Yeah.
And you're not wrong. And the energy between you and Jason really had a curious symmetry. And again, knowing as I do that, hey, everybody's got the different schedules and everything else too. It was good to see the characters banter.
Thanks.
Thank you, Patty. She makes it easy. I mean, honestly, I feel the same way. And it's truly a treat to work with someone that well, who you understand the chemistry before you go in, and it makes it. It's not like it's easy, but it makes it very fun.
For sure.
I mean, every voice actor loves not having someone else who recorded first to play off of. It's like a gift. you know, and you know the fact that we do have these relationships with each other. I mean, Josh Martin is my best friend, has been for 25 years, long before we were on Dragon Ball Z, you know, and so, and so, you know, I too, we get that too. Like whoever recorded first, you know, we always kind of know, like, I know what he's gonna do, I know how to play this, and or I know if I do this, I know Rager will probably do that, or back and forth. So, and that just comes with the relationships, which I'm so happy exist on other levels than what I've known with Josh. So that's awesome.
I miss you people, like in person.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Josh, how about you? What's been the best thing about being a part of Dragon Ball?
Man, well, you know, the actor in me, I love to perform. So any chance I get to perform is fun, and Boo is probably the funnest character I could pick to do. So it's always a great time. And then, you know, to be able to still be a part of it 20 plus years after I started, and be here long enough where I've gotten to meet fans and people who've watched the show over the years and tell me that they enjoyed it and how it affected their lives one way or the other, mostly positive, thankfully. And and it's awesome. I get to share it with my friends, and you know, the Rager-san. We've been friends, like he said, and it's pretty cool. I'm pretty lucky. Same to you.
We miss you boys at our wrestling events. Yeah, at GalaxyCon FSCW. Those are and those audience don't know, GalaxyCon, when we do get back in the business, we have our own cosplay wrestling league, and Chris and Josh often take part in that whenever they're around, and watch the YouTubes. They're fun.
Wait,
It's one of the most.
judges
It's one of
or
the
as
most unique
participants?
events. Sorry.
As
Sorry.
judges or as participants?
We're commentators.
Ah,
In fact, we've actually played out some bits with them before. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's really high quality wrestling, and they're all wearing different characters and cosplays. And the one time we were doing it, it was Mr. Satan versus Skeletor from the He-Man universe. We played out a bit with them where, you know, we distracted Skeletor so Mr. Satan could win. And
I was gonna say,
it is a blast. Even if you don't really care for wrestling much, it's way too much fun to miss.
okay.
check it out.
Absolutely. So when you've been in the shows, you saw the wrestling ring off of you in the far corner. It was just like, oh, that's what's going on, for those of you who've ever wondered. So there you are. So something else about Dragon Ball is that I've always admired, and this goes back to his roots overseas, was I appreciate that it has a really unique mythology, and it has this okay, it's on Earth, it's on this different kind of Earth, and they really they push its mythology and its wackiness, for lack of a better term, out, and they know exactly where to draw the line, where it just never goes over into, oh, okay, this is getting like an 11-year-old's like D&D sort of game. So what was there any point in just you're going through the scripts or anything else that you were just like, you just caught you a little bit by surprise, like you couldn't quite see it in your head, and you're like, what are they having me do here? Oh, okay, I'll just go with it.
No.
You're already used to it.
I mean, with Champa, that's like every freaking line, man. I'm not kidding. That dude is like, he's the hangriest fiend I've ever encountered in any context.
Yeah.
I'd agree with Jason. When I first started, everything was just like, what? Okay, he's happy. He just wants chocolate, but he kills everybody. And he doesn't say anything. Oh,
Wow.
okay.
And kudos to you.
And that goes back to the thing of being able to meet fans and stuff, and them telling you that they liked it, and because back then I wasn't sure if any of it was working.
Josh wasn't sure he had the part for his first like 3 sessions, right? That's a true story. He went in like he thought he was still auditioning. Like any minute they were going to pull the plug and be like, no, we're done. We're done here. We're going to go with something else. I'm like, no, dude, you have the part. They're going to send you a check.
You know what, though? I still have that fear with every job I book. I'm not kidding you. Every job I book.
See, I'm not the only one. Thanks, Jason.
What if I get on tape and then they're like, yeah, this is not working? I mean, I think that's part of it.
That is the business.
Indeed.
I was in a commercial one time, and I do believe I got bumped from my featured extra position because my hair was too curly.
I got bumped once for my dancing.
Were you
dancing sequence? The AD came and moved me over, and I looked down, and there's a yellow line, and I realized that was the frame line. They moved me out of the frame line. I'm like, so why don't you just tell me to leave, dude? You want me to keep dancing like an idiot? Anyway.
Are you getting paid?
Yeah.
Dance like an idiot.
Yeah.
I did.
That was it.
Really, you were dancing too well and pulling focus from
Yes.
That's what happened.
Yes.
The actor's life. Indeed. Well, anybody else got any moments where they might have felt a little challenged by a Dragon Ball scene? Or just, at that point you was already into it. Very good. All right.
I do have one, actually, Patty. I'm sorry to interrupt the flow.
It's too late, Jason.
Is it too late?
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, my first part was Tapion in the film. Tapion is the alien who gave Trunks a sword. I'm told it wasn't his only sword he was given, but see you, baby. Anyway,
Elizabeth, thank you for joining us.
He hates this story. It's your least favorite story.
I tell the story all the time. But I had my first screen that was kind of this multi-level screen where literally the animation had his larynx expanding and contracting in the midst of the screen. And dude, I saw the animation and I was just like, okay, seriously? And indeed, seriously, like, fill that flap. It was crazy.
It's like,
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. It was a crazy challenge.
Anyway. No. Well, hey, you did it right because they brought you back. Absolutely. And our team let us know we are good to go on audience questions. So let's go ahead and roll our first one. And this is going to come from Anne. And they would like to know, if you could have any abilities or powers from the show, what would you choose and what would you use it for?
Can we pick multiple?
Sure.
I want flying and instant transmission. Those are my favorites. I wouldn't have to take a car anywhere. Great.
I say you hate commuting, I can tell.
I agree with Dawn. Absolutely, 100%. That would be great. Yes.
As Mr. Satan, I already have super abilities. I do have the dynamite kick and the megaton punch, which are pretty dope. So
indeed,
there's that.
Plus, your name is Mr. Satan. I mean,
right. Well, technically, Mr. Satan is not his name. Mr. Satan is his title. It was bestowed upon him because he was the best fighter in the Satan Dojo. His name, for those of you who don't know, is Mark. I'm not making that up.
That's why it's so awesome.
But if you say the name Mark in Japanese, you would say it Maku, Maaku. A little flippity-doo of the letters, you get Akuma, which means
Satan,
devil or demon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Any Street Fighter player knows that.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure what I'd use it for yet, but I love the idea of being able to fuse with people because I tend to have friends that are like really different from me and have like very different strengths from mine. So I feel like if I were to fuse with some people in my life that I'm close to, we would be like an unstoppable force.
I think I would personally not like her to have this power. Just her love language is touch, So sometimes, I'm basically like a human pillow. especially when Cat's over too. It's like, it's
I
great.
think what he's saying
Very
is
nice.
you have a couple of friends he doesn't like. He would not like you with them.
Indeed. Is that anyway?
Teasing would only be used in, public, non-private.
Josh, are you moving your house?
What are you doing?
Dude, I'm having the craziest comedy of errors here. Can you guys hear me? Even?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can. You're good.
You can? Okay, yeah. I can't even explain it right now what happened.
And
But anyway, yeah,
well, whatever
I'm
it
here.
is, there's no lag anymore, and you're in real time. So yeah, you fixed it.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Nailed
think it might be my my interface. Anyway, yeah. My ability I would use Boo's ability to turn things into chocolate and candy because I do like chocolate and candy.
But those aren't things,
That's
Josh.
simple.
He has the ability to turn people into candy and chocolate.
Oh no.
Not
He invented. He
Now you're just making up
materialized
Dragon Ball
candy
lore.
and chocolate. No, I'm not. I did it. I remember doing
did
it.
it?
Okay.
Remember this? Do you, Josh?
Yes. Now you challenging me?
I am a
Are
little
you
bit,
challenging
This
yes.
has become my favorite panel ever.
I am challenging you. a little bit.
Absolutely.
Chris,
Well,
I keep
Okay, I'll find it.
thinking, and I keep thinking,
I don't know
did
all the
John Goodman
episodes.
join the panel?
What?
Did who?
John Goodman.
You think he sounds like John Goodman?
Wait, am I thinking the guy from The Big Lebowski?
Guys,
Well,
I
yeah.
am John Goodman.
Yeah.
You could be like
He
a
is
voice
John Goodman.
box for John Goodman.
That's awesome.
Damn it, Donnie! You know,
Oh my God. Dude.
how do you know?
Yes.
Yeah, no, you got it. I mean, he's one of my favorite actors. Man, when he emerged from that hole, oh my God. Raising Arizona? Oh my God.
I know that's a great movie.
Oh. Brilliant.
His buddy out
Jason,
by the
can you-
leg. Rainstorm. We should have another panel about that.
We release ourselves our own recognizance. And thank you. That was a wonderful question to start us off with. And let's roll another one. And that comes from Christy. They want to know, what other character that you have voiced would you love to see interact with your Dragon Ball character?
Ooh. Huh.
Okay. I play a character named Evergreen in Fairy Tale, and it's essentially the same voice, actually. And I think that they would get on really well together. They both just have this very superior attitude. They know that they're better than other people. And in Vados' case, it's true. She's a very powerful being. In Evergreen's case, it is less true. But I still think that I just would like to see them running around as a little duo. And Evergreen in Fairy Tale kind of has a thing for this character named Elfman, also played by Christopher Sabat, who's like a big, hulking, like the biggest man ever. And his whole thing is about being Dawn, help me out, because you know Fairy Tale really well. What's his thing? Being masculine? Masculine isn't the right word, but like manly, like
Yes.
super macho. And Evergreen loves it. Well, a thing about Vados is Raleigh Pickens, who directed most of Super. We decided early on that secretly Vados has a thing for all of the fighters. Like she has a thing for muscles. And it's like this little secret between me and Raleigh. So it's kind of the undercurrent for a lot of her reads, especially during the big tournament. So because of that, I think that Vados and Evergreen would just be the best of friends. And now you know my secret, how to play Vados.
we are learning a lot today. I love it. Who's got another crossover they'd like to see?
I voiced a character in a Rooster Teeth show called Camp Camp. The character is Nikki. And I feel like Nikki is kind of like a younger Caulifla. And I don't think I've ever seen in the show either Caulifla or Nikki get exhausted. And I feel like if you put them in the same room together, they would feed each other's frenzy so much that they might actually like
Take a nap.
yeah, Get each other to the point of exhaustion.
That'll do it. Do it. Who's got another?
I would say. Oh, sorry.
No, please, mind.
I would say Kale and Frosh from Fairy Tale, because I play this character Frosh, who's like a cat that thinks they're a frog. So it's an adorable little cat in a frog onesie. And I feel like that would be good for Kale to have like a cute little cuddle buddy to like help her calm her rage a bit. Just chill out a bit. No one can be mad at Frosh. Everyone loves Frosh.
Service animal.
There you go.
Frosh would not be a good service animal because Frosh would like run off after a butterfly and you would see them again, I guess you would say.
Helps you stop and smell the roses.
Right.
True.
I mean, all my characters just scream at each other, so
Yeah, I kind of have that problem too.
like Mr. Satan and Mr. Torgwood hanging out. I don't think that would go very well. Mr. Satan would be like, this guy's really loud, and be like, explosions and stuff, and Mr. Satan would be very scared of Mr. Torg. I think he'd be like, this guy's gonna blow me up, and he'd be out of there or something.
They're staying the same course. I think Tapion would probably put that sword he gave Trunks right in Champa's freaking gut. Just you have to scream everything, dude. Like seriously.
Josh, you got one?
Maybe interesting would be Boo and Android 15 interacting. I don't know. They little zoot suit.
Android.
Yeah. Break yourself, Boo.
Okay. What mean break yourself?
I don't know.
And if it didn't work out, you just turn them into
Boo, like divide up into several Boos. You mean like this or something,
Right. Man, what's wrong with you? You need to go on a diet or something.
We'll turn you to chocolate.
Christy, thank you. Wonderful question. What do we have next? And this comes from Jackie. Who or what inspired you to be a voice actor?
Mel
Blanc. I never set out to be a voice actor. I just wanted to be a working actor, and along the way came this opportunity. Josh and myself have been doing improv for a decade in Dallas, and this opportunity kind of came along. And, what we didn't realize is we had really been training ourselves to create characters and kind of work on the fly and come up with things quickly, which, anime very much needs as far as when you're acting in anime. And so it just sort of all worked out. So I never said I didn't want to be a voice actor. I just never set out to be personally. I just wanted to make a living being an actor.
My answer is almost exactly that same answer, actually. I feel very fortunate that the opportunity presented itself, but my first jobs came from somebody seeing me in a play here in Austin and needing to replace an actor. There was a studio, ADV had a little studio here at the time, Monster Island Studios. And but I get that question all the time, and I'm like, well, that's not really what I was aiming for, but I am very fortunate to have found it.
Yep.
Or for it to have found me.
Yeah. Same. I think a lot of you'll hear that a lot from voice actors in anime, that we are just working actors. Many of us set out to just get paid to act for a living, and we happen to be in the right place at the right time. There are very few places in the country where you can actually dub anime. It's a little bit different now because of the pandemic and we work more remotely, but still it is just connecting the centers of anime recording to one another. It's not necessarily getting someone from like Sheboygan to be in our show.
So you're not excluded, Sheboygan.
You can. If you live in Sheboygan and you want to be a voice actor, you can do it.
Sheboyganites?
But same thing. Like I was just going to college, getting a degree in theater, and here in DFW, and that's where Funimation is. So the opportunity to work presented itself, and a gig became a job, became a career, and now it's what I do.
It's a little different for me because I grew up with anime as a kid. I happened upon a Pokemon magazine with an interview with Veronica Taylor, who's also in Dragon Ball Super. But she was the original voice of Ash Ketchum in Pokemon. And when I read that, it blew my mind as a kid that this boy protagonist was voiced by a woman, and this is a job. And kid me told my mom, who is a Filipino mother who didn't understand. I said, "Mom, I want to do this for a living." And she goes, "I don't know what that is. Go be a nurse." I didn't be a nurse. But yeah, so I think that kind of kickstarted things for me, that I wanted to act in cartoons. I had no idea how. And I kind of fell off it for a bit. I went into music more, and then I ended up going to music school. But my desire to become a voice actor resurfaced while I was at music school. And it's, I don't know, I think like with like my generation of voice actors now, it's become like, that's become more of a story. Like, oh, we grew up with it as kids, and then that's what we wanted to go into specifically. I don't know if you guys have been saying that's the case, but it's weird how the story keeps changing, like with every single generation.
Well, and I think it's so interesting too, because I grew up watching anime as well, but it was an entirely different experience because there was no Crunchyroll or Funimation or anything. It was like literally the first animes I watched were bootleg VHSs that my brother borrowed from his high school anime club, you know? And I think obviously with both the ability to, watch it, more people, being able to watch it, also there's more respect paid to the people who voice and act in voice acting now. And I think that has changed the perception of being able to do this as like a valid career. Because when I was a kid, it was like nobody talked about being a voice actor. You just talked about being a voice actor, talked about being an actor. Like I didn't even know the names of any voice actors. And I do think that that's changed basically.
When Josh and I were kids, there was only one guy doing all the voices, like Warner Brother, it was like one guy. Yeah. So it wasn't something that really registered. Of course there were other types of cartoons and stuff like that, but Warner Brothers, it was one dude. And you just sort of figured that, oh, well, maybe all other cartoons only have one guy that do their voices too. It just wasn't something that registered. The anime I watched early on, that was on TV and stuff was, of course, your Speed Racers, your Star Blazers, Battleship Yamato, which I got to be in when it rebooted, which was a very cool thing.
Lucky bastard.
There it is again.
Then, it was definitely far more Americanized back then. I didn't really register that it was from Japan even, that show had characters named Derek Wildstar and not the traditional Japanese names and things like that, which is a dope ass name, by the way. Derek Wildstar is a kick ass name. Anyway.
Yes, I think too, something that's interesting, and probably all of us, with the exception of Dawn, can speak to what it's been like to have been in this industry for so long. Even when I had only been in it for maybe a year or two, at my first convention, still the most asked question is, how do I be a voice actor? How do I be a voice actor? And we all kind of roll our eyes at that question because we're so tired of answering it. And we want to be like, just Google it. Just go watch every panel that's on YouTube. But the thing is, after having said it for 15 plus years now, people have listened. There's some that are just casually interested in it because they're just so obsessed with anime and they want to somehow be a part of it. But then there are other people like Dawn, where English voice acting truly sparks a real thing in them. And they have watched the panels, gone to the cons, taken our advice, and gone to theater school or taken music or improv or whatever. Like all of those things actually are great. Go do those. And now they're on their way. They've taken the classes that Chris teaches, and a lot of other voice actors give. And now we can call them our colleagues because they took our word for it and did what we told them, which is mind blowing to me. So I have to remind myself that there is that shift, and I need to not kind of give side eye to people who are like, I watch anime and I want to be a voice actor. I'm like, well, you know what? Go for it. It can honestly happen because I've seen it now. I've seen it.
I mean, just the shift in the attention of wanting to become a voice actor. I mean, I teach those workshops. I teach about one every 2 months or so. And there's never a shortage of people who want to take this workshop, and now that I've done it online, I'm able to open it up to a far bigger audience, and what I'm finding in those workshops where the future talent is going to have a lot of competition, because these kids are already at a level that I would not expect them to be if maybe I was teaching this class 20 years ago, and that's the truth.
Yeah. When we go back to physical shows, we do our little program Voice of GalaxyCon, where is our American Idol style competition. Come on in, breed sides. But the first round for the competitors is not animation sides. It's toothpaste and PSAs, because I always try to tell everybody, it's like, understand, this is the life. This is, if you really want to get onto this is the world you're going into. And it's not to dissuade anyone. It's just to let them know, you're looking at the trapeze acts thing, and I want to do that, but it's a little more complex than you might think. But you're absolutely right, though, that there is a wonderful sense that, yes, the audiences and the kids and everybody else, they are getting it. They are beginning to realize there's a little more work than it certainly was. So, and as always, just be an actor and have fun. And as someone else said, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Which I've taken that to heart. I think we have time. Yes, I think we have time for one more quick one. So let's see if we can break out a really fast. And Jackie, thank you, and hope that has helped inspire you in your future endeavors. And it's from Kevin. What other fandom do you think would be awesome to cross over a Dragon Ball Super? And this can be any fandom outside of anime, whatever you think would be fun.
Whoa.
Wrestling.
Marvel.
There you go. That's perfect.
Right. That would begin to answer some of those questions. Who could defeat who, Goku or Iron Man or something like that?
Yeah, I was, as soon as Dawn said Marvel, I was like, probably the MCU. Yeah, probably Marvel. Yeah.
Is it weird that I like kind of, because I feel like, Dragon Ball is all about getting stronger and being the best and fighting and winning fights. Like, I kind of would want to see what happened if they mashed up with like the Animal Crossing world or Stardew Valley, like something that's like
that poor island
building.
Someone's gonna blow up that poor island with one big giant ball of fire or laser.
Majin Buu and Candy Crush World.
But I'd like to maybe see it cross over into something, a little more, slightly more real worldish, like maybe, I don't know, like a Sin City or something like that, I don't know, just something that's got a little more darkness, a little darker, edgier stories kind of to it thing. I think that'd be cool.
I immediately thought like Champa's ramen shops. But, I just like ramen. In real
I want
life.
to see a reality show where they all live in the same house. It's like
I was just thinking that.
Big Brother style. I like that too. That's a good idea.
Josh and I want our own show where it's just Boo and Satan as roommates, and and you're already laughing. See, comedy ensues, right?
Too much, Kevin. Kevin, thank you. Wonderful. And GalaxyCon viewers, this has been my time with the cast of Dragon Ball Super. Gentlemen and lady, any upcoming projects or anything you'd like to share with our audience before we sign off?
No.
Any parting words then for our audience before we sign off?
We love you.
Yay.
Aw.
Long live Universe 6.
That's right. Yes.
It has been my absolute pleasure to serve you all again today. Thank you once again for joining us at the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Thank you to our audience for joining us, and thank you for all your great questions. Hope to see you all again soon. Until then, bye-bye, everyone. Take care, and please keep washing those hands.